You're an 11-year-old living in a cupboard, and the universe just handed you a wand. Let's rank your first year at Hogwarts from F-tier misery to S-tier legend. Welcome to F-tier. This is your life before the letters even show up. You sleep in a cupboard, you wear your cousin's old clothes, and they hang off your body like a tent because nobody ever bought you anything of your own. You've never had a birthday party. You've never had a real conversation with someone who actually likes you. Every single day is the same gray loop: chores, insults, and being treated like an inconvenience nobody wanted to deal with. Weird things happen around you sometimes, glass disappearing, your hair growing back overnight, but instead of feeling powerful, it just gets you punished harder. You don't know magic exists yet, you just think something is wrong with you. This is peak F-tier misery, and it lasts for 10 straight years before anything changes. Then the letters start showing up. Hundreds of them, stuffed through the mail slot, then the chimney, then flying in through cracks nobody thought existed. Your uncle panics and tries to outrun the letters completely, driving you to a shock on a rock in the middle of the ocean just to escape whatever's trying to reach you. That's how badly the universe wants you to know the truth. And when a massive man breaks the door clean off its hinges just to hand you a letter personally, your entire world resets. You are told for the first time in your life that you are a wizard. This is your loading screen. This is the moment F-tier finally starts to crack.
Now you're in D-tier. This is Diagon Alley and the first days of pure sensory overload. You've just been dropped into a completely new world and you understand almost none of it. You don't know what half the shops sell, you don't know what a sickle is worth compared to a galleon. You buy your very first wand and it practically chooses you back with a burst of wind that knocks over shelves. You get fitted for robes standing next to a pale kid who won't stop talking about how his family already owns everything worth owning. You board a train for the first time in your life without knowing a single soul on it, wandering compartment to compartment like a lost NPC, hoping someone will let you sit down. This is the confusing rookie stage. You're overwhelmed, broke, and starting from zero, while everyone else seems to already know the rules. But even here, something is different about you. People keep staring, whispering your name like they already know exactly who you are. You don't understand why strangers are treating you like a celebrity when you don't even understand what a chocolate frog card is. That disconnect, being famous for surviving something you don't even remember, is one of the strangest parts of this early tier. You didn't earn this attention. You inherited it from a night you don't recall. You're just a kid with a wand right now, but by the end of this year, you'll be doing something most adults wouldn't dare. But the wonder of the wizarding world wears off fast when you realize you actually have to survive it. Let's move into C-tier, because this is where the real friction starts. You arrive at Hogwarts and get sorted in front of the entire school, nearly ending up in the one house everyone whispers about with fear, before the hat changes its mind at the last second. A professor with greasy hair decides he hates you before you've said a single word to him. A boy your age with slicked hair and an entitled attitude tries to buy your friendship on the train and turns cold the second you say no. By Halloween, you're already breaking rules just trying to survive one very bad night, when a troll gets loose inside the castle and you and your two new friends end up locked in a bathroom, fighting for your lives with nothing but panic and dumb luck on your side. Seriously, why is a school this dangerous? Let's keep moving before Snape takes more points.
This is peak C-tier chaos. You're constantly getting blamed, constantly under suspicion, and constantly one bad night away from expulsion, all while trying to just learn how to hold a wand properly. On top of that, C-tier is where the weird stuff starts stacking up. You start noticing a three-headed dog guarding a trapdoor on the third floor, which absolutely nobody explains to an 11-year-old. You start hearing rumors about something being hidden in the castle, something valuable, something dangerous. You watch your favorite teachers stumble and mutter strange things during a Quidditch match, and you become convinced he's trying to hurt you. Most kids worry about homework. You're worried about whether your professors are secretly plotting against you. This is the tier where you realize Hogwarts isn't just a school, it's a place with real secrets and real stakes hidden behind every hallway.
Now, let's talk B tier, because this is where you actually start leveling up. You've survived the troll, survived detention in the Forbidden Forest, survived enough near disasters that you're no longer the confused new kid. You've got 2 real friends now, a brilliant know-it-all who ends up saving your life more than once, and a loyal, funny sidekick who never abandons you even when things get terrifying. Your flying skills turn out to be incredible on your very first try, so good that you get pulled onto the house Quidditch team as the youngest player in a century. Your spell work sharpens, your instincts sharpen. You start piecing together clues nobody else seems to notice, connecting the dog, the trapdoor, and the professor's strange behavior into one giant mystery. B tier is also where your emotional arc actually levels up. You learn to lean on your friends instead of trying to solve everything completely alone. You find a mirror that shows you your deepest desire, your parents standing beside you, smiling, alive. It nearly consumes you completely, staring into it for hours, but you learn, with help, that you can't live inside a reflection. You realize your past isn't your personality. That's a massive level up. Most kids your age never learn this lesson. You're starting to.
Welcome to A tier. This is where you become genuinely capable in a way nobody expected from a first-year student. You and your 2 friends figure out on your own that someone is trying to steal the object hidden behind that 3-headed dog, and you realize the adults either don't believe you or won't act fast enough. So you decide to go get it yourselves. You survive a deadly plant that nearly strangles your friend. You solve a giant floating key puzzle by grabbing the exact right one out of hundreds while dodging the rest, chasing you through the air. You play a full-sized life-or-death game of wizard's chess where your friend sacrifices himself as a piece so you can keep moving forward. This is the tier where you stop reacting to danger and start walking directly into it, on purpose, because you understand what's at stake. A tier also comes with real cost. Your friend gets knocked unconscious in that chess match, and you have to leave him behind, unsure if he's even okay. You walk through the final door completely alone, not because you're fearless, but because you've decided that stopping evil matters more than your own safety. That mindset shift, choosing to keep going even when you're terrified and alone, is what separates this tier from everything before it. You're 11 years old, and you're about to do something most trained adults would run from.
And now, S tier, God tier, the absolute peak of year 1. This is the moment you walk into the final chamber and discover your professor, the same one you suspected all year, kneeling in front of a mirror with something far darker attached to the back of his head. You come face to face with the darkest wizard alive, a weakened, desperate version of him, whispering promises of power if you just hand over the stone. You refuse. You fight back with nothing but raw instinct and a strange protection burned into your very skin, one that turns out to be more powerful than any spell either of them expected. You pass out of the effort, wake up days later in the hospital wing, and learn that you actually did it. You stopped him. As an 11-year-old, in your very first year, you stopped the single most feared wizard in the world from returning to full power. S tier isn't just about winning that fight, though. It's about what happens afterward. You could have bragged about it, demanded recognition, made it about your own glory. Instead, you sit quietly at the end of your feast, watching your house get awarded enough last-minute points to win the House Cup for the first time in years, points awarded specifically because of what you and your friends did. You watch the Great Hall shift from green and silver to red and gold in an instant, and you realize you didn't do this for glory. You did it because it needed doing.
Look back at where this year started. A cupboard under some stairs. No love, no magic, no idea who you were. Now you're heading home for the summer as the most talked about first year in the history of the school, having survived a troll, a deadly obstacle course, and Voldemort himself, all before finishing a single full year of homework. You went from F-tier nobody to S-tier legend in the span of 9 months, not because you were born powerful, but because you kept choosing to fight, kept choosing your friends, and kept walking forward even when every reasonable instinct told you to stop. So here's the real question. If your very first year at a magic school played out exactly like this, be honest, what tier do you think you'd actually survive to? Would you make it past the troll, or would year 1 be the year you never came back from? Drop your answer below and let us know which year you want ranked next.